Okay, AJ, here you go, bud. You got a choice between the 250 and the 350. How are you feeling? Feeling strong?
Sure.
Okay. Anyone want to try 350 pounds? It's okay. So if you feel like you just need to let some stress out, use those fidget toys, all right? So, I've got a little bell ringer for today, all right? I'd like to take about 5 minutes. I'm going to set a timer up for it. And essentially, I just want you to think about this question. Should schools have the right to limit certain clothing choices for students? Yes or no? All right? And so, when you think about it, and you're ready for an answer, just come up here, click the pen, red for no, green for yes, and just put your little tally, okay?
Yep.
So, and then we'll talk about it for a couple minutes. So I'm gonna set the timer now. All right, we've got 5 minutes. So we have 3 no's, we have 5 maybes it looks like, and we have 2 yeses.
Let me speak to you. Alright, I
Okay,
said
go for
yes because if there was like 0 restrictions and someone doesn't feel like it, guaranteed one day out of the blue someone's coming in with nothing on. And that's weird for a public school. You don't want to see that. And like there's just so many like other like extremes that could happen with no restrictions.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Alumi?
I put maybe because I believe, yeah, we shouldn't have like hateful behavior on our clothing, and we should like cover up like our private parts. Like something as stupid as like showing your stomach or shoulders, it shouldn't be that big of a problem.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So good.
Can I say
I also put maybe, just because, like, having limits, like, extreme limits is a bit too much.
Okay.
And you're gonna have people who wanna go against those, and not having limits, you're gonna have people who are gonna end up like, getting hurt and being, like, hurt, and there's gonna be fights started over what people are wearing.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm gonna go Alyssa, Nevaeh, and AJ.
I said no, but basically just because like I feel like we should have our own control of what we wear. Like nothing like what we're showing up for our hobbies. Or like you know. I just feel like that we should have our own control of what we wear.
Okay. All right. Thank you. AJ?
I put yes because I don't
There's
want
nothing
people
wrong
coming to
with
school in Kanye merchandise. I
Oh,
want
no.
Kanye. I don't want to see like somebody walking around with a White Lives Matter shirt on in the middle of school.
Fair point. Absolutely.
Some
Thank you.
Kanye stuff fired.
So,
Not
so you're
new
saying,
Kanye.
so you're saying
Yeah,
that,
that's what I'm
so
saying.
not only people showing off like too
I think
much
the dress
shoulder-
code is stupid. I think the things displayed on the clothes are what need to be censored.
Okay.
Like, I don't care if you want to wear a crop top to school. That's all you, but...
All right. So today we've got 3 objectives for today. One's going to be going into Wednesday. Okay. So it's all right that we don't get this all the way finished today. So the first objective we have is we're going to examine and analyze the First Amendment case, and that's going to be the Bong Rips for Jesus case. So AJ,
Jesus.
hit the nail on the head.
Religious icon and promoting herbs. I love it.
There we go.
Best of both worlds in my eyes.
It's all about vegetable gardens. I agree with you. Number 2 is we're going to describe why the First Amendment does not always apply in schools, and we have a special speaker for that. And then number 3, we're going to plan a PSA explaining what the First Amendment does and does not protect for a student's First Amendment right in schools. Okay? What about if someone wears this shirt in school?
That just looks ugly, so yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like a LGBTQ shirt, and then like transition to be like, never mind America, but it's
It's like a crime against fashion. So.
Crime against
I say-
fashion? Okay. So it's
Who's
more of an
random?
objection on fashion.
I mean, you
Okay.
could wear like shirts like that.
Do you actually know what's the wear thing?
No.
What if I wore this one on Monday? And I probably will.
That's fine.
That's fine.
And the news reporters
From
are everything saying, let's go.
It's
bring
okay
it back.
because it has the LOL.
On the LOL,
Like a
yeah.
whole thing.
What if someone wore this one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be totally real. So.
Okay. So we're saying that some speech is more or less objectionable,
Hmm?
what you're wearing, depending on what it is that you're wearing. Okay. Yes, AJ?
I think it depends on where your school is.
Okay, that's a good point. And what if,
That's fine. It's not that deep.
What is it?
Nah, they couldn't.
Fuck Joe.
Oh.
Um,
2010.
Does your school have something against swears?
I think all
Well, that
schools
doesn't
might
say
have something
swear.
against
Then
it.
no, because
doesn't
there's-
What I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to read this, and we're gonna do 10 minutes where we read this, and then I would like you to, next to your partner, discuss and fill out the graphic organizer together, just like we did for the Des Moines case.
Hey, this was on my
Do you have an
birthday.
extra Benny?
Oh, that's June. Never mind. I'm looking at the decision.
Yeah, so if we could
It's
just
like 4 minutes.
read quietly for about 10 minutes, okay? And then we're gonna fill out the second half of our graphic organizer, okay?
So with Tinker though, were the armbands fine? Armbands were fine.
Canon.
Civic literacy. Collaboration.
Symbolic
Yes,
speech
but
of
yeah.
the
On.
true moves.
Promote.
So today we have a very special speaker. He's going to talk to us about some First Amendment cases and your rights in schools. So if everybody could snap their fingers on the count of 3 and welcome Mr. Lacey. So 3, 2, 1.
All right. So when you come through the doors of the school, do you have more rights or less rights than you did in the street?
Last.
Less, that's right. And that less is because of what? Anyone know? It's for your protection. All right, so the First Amendment, freedom of,
Speech.
yeah. There's 3 big ones. Freedom of speech,
Freedom of religion.
freedom of religion, freedom to peacefully gather, right? So that means you could, if you wanted to organize a group downtown to have a march, that you could get a permit and you could do that, right? No one can stop you. The big problem with the Tinker case was they wore black armbands, which at the time was like, oh my God, how dare you, right? I'm trying to think of an analogy today, but like if you came in today waving a flag that said, you know, all guns should be regulated, how would that go over us? Right? Some people get upset about that. I don't know, maybe not to the level, but if you wore a black armband in the 60s, you were anti-establishment. Let's fast forward. It's not bong rips for Jesus, it's bong hits for Jesus. And the difference is minor, but that's actually what this poster said on the side of a wall that was like this tall and from like me to you guys. And it said bong hits, the number 4, and then Jesus, right? And it was displayed during a school event. It wasn't on a shirt, it was displayed during a school event. And so it was like a 5K race or something. And so in this case, the students who put it up were very proud of it. And they were told to take it down, and they were like, no, I have the First Amendment right to do this. And the principal said, okay, and you will now be suspended. And so, similar to what happened in the Tinker case, the people who wore the armbands got suspended. So there has to be some form of punishment to kick off a case, right? If they said don't do it again, and there was no punishment, there's no case, right? And so you have to be wrong. So both these cases, the students were suspended, and they both basically, you know, appealed to the higher power, right? And what is the higher power? Well, first you go to your local court, federal court in your state, and if you don't like the way that went, they have they have circuit appeals courts. So, for example, in Vermont, you're going to go to like Burlington, and then if you lose there, you can appeal, and then we're part of the second district, which is New York. And so there's another court in New York, and then if you lose again, you go to the Supreme Court, and that's your last stop, right? And so that's where the cases went. And so in the Tinker case, the Supreme Court held that they in fact could wear the armband, right? Because it was like a political speech issue, right? Whereas in the bong hits for Jesus case, they said, yeah, no, that's a line too far, right? You can't do that, right? What is the political speech there? If it's for, are you going to tell me that it's for their, go ahead. You want to try to,
I don't know I can even attempt to justify that.
should drugs be legal?
You're promoting legalizing drugs in the eyes of religious people.
Well, I think another important part to remember is that at that time, marijuana was still, well, it's still federally illegal, right? So you can't promote illegal drugs or encouraging people to take illegal drugs. So I think that was sort of the crux of their justification for that.
Our policy here, you can't wear shirts that advertise alcohol or firearms, right? That's like a policy, right? And that is in relation to trying to create this environment. But you guys glossed over one of the biggest questions I think we should debate further. And that's the Let's Go Brandon shirt, right? Let's Go Brandon, right? Arguably, that is at its core 3 words on a shirt that mean nothing, right? About a NASCAR driver, right? But it's been twisted in all of our heads to mean something different, right? And that something different includes an F-bomb, right? But that F-bomb is directly related to political speech, is it not? Right? And so, at its core, is it the curse word that's the problem, or is it the political speech that's the problem? because that's where you get into some sticky areas here, right? Could I wear a Trump 2024 shirt tomorrow? I hope so, right? Just like if I wore a Biden 2024 shirt, right? I mean, those are political speech issues, right? So where's the balance? So always think to yourself, where's the balance? So in Tinker, it was like, look, it's an armband, they're opposing the war, it's pure political speech. And the Bong Hits for Jesus, it really had no value other than possibly advocating the legalization of marijuana, but more likely just to stick their finger in the nose of some school administration, right? All right, I'm back for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Lacy. And if you could come here when you're finished high-fiving. And if you could face the camera and edit your way out of here. All right, everybody. So for the rest of class, we're going to work on this last 15 minutes of class. We're going to work on a PSA, okay? And so what I'd like you to do is, because you're digital film students, and I think this would be a great idea to do a little project-based learning between humanities class and digital film, all right, is I want you to create in 2 groups of 5, all right, and we'll split up in a couple minutes. Create a 30 to 45-second video on students' clothing rights in school. Create a dialogue, storyboard, and interviews that you want to conduct for this PSA. And you all know more than I do when it comes to that, so I trust you completely. And then the deadline is going to be by the end of school on Wednesday. Okay? And then humanities class is going to be in digital film. I don't know why I wrote DG. I apologize for that. Does anybody have any questions about it?
You don't work at Dollar General.
That's right. Sorry, Dollar General, not digital film. Okay, so Kyan and Bree, if you could please move over with and get into groups with AJ, Cannon, and Nevaeh, and Alyssa and Logan. If you could move into groups with Alumi, Hisoka, and Sam, I'd really appreciate that.
Collaboration. Communication. Problem solving.
You didn't even want to go down that way, just down that way. Yes, you would.
Please dismiss students to their vehicles and buses. Everyone have a great evening.
Well, I'm literally convinced of all of your acting. Wait, I didn't grab my backpack.
Wait, did the
Are you
bell
just gonna
ring?
grab the stuff? And we're taking this way or which way we're going?
We're eating. You guys like know you're on video, but you're off.
Italian, just the fact that I can call you
And it's because you are wonderful.
Since you might get me out first,
The fact that I don't
you're gonna
care
cash me out too.
makes you invalid, bro.
You're amazing.
I want to be able to have my. Remember to differentiate. I think I have like
See ya.
7.
Cannon, see ya.
That's fine.
Thank you. AJ.
Good night.
Let me, you want me to grab your cord?
Yeah, well, it's attached to my computer, so.
Bye, man.
See you, man.
Alright.
And.
I think that when we're thinking about dress code, we're thinking about what is appropriate versus whether it's a personal freedom or not.
I think we should be allowed to carry knives on us, considering we're a tech center.
I think we have a pretty great dress code, like no knives.
I've been suspended once or twice for carrying knives on me.
I've actually never broken the dress code because I've never carried a knife on me.
Maybe make a limit to how big of a knife you can carry or something.
I don't think it should be changed. I think we have a pretty good dress code. It's pretty relaxed. We're allowed to wear just about anything we want, as long as there's no knives.
Considering we're a tech center and that most of us use knives in our programs, or at least some of the programs, that we should be able to carry them on our body.
I don't feel safe in school if someone's walking around with a knife, so it's keep them in your program, please.
I'm pretty happy with our dress code. I don't think there's anything there that is blatantly against individuality. I think it's just really, again, has to do with our school's focus.
I agree with most of them, like no showing your stomach and no showing like the bottom of your butt and no showing cleavage, obviously. But they get annoyed if you're wearing like spaghetti straps. That gets annoying because like summertime boys wear like muscle shirts all the time and everything and never get yelled at. But like a tank top that goes down to like this is bad, and I don't understand that. I also think it's discriminating when women who are confident in their body, like if they're overweight or really skinny, doesn't really matter. But when they're like, some people go through a really rough time and are never confident with how they look, and when they finally wear clothes to show off that they're confident, people will just shove them down and say ew and say put on some more clothes, or just call them really awful names, and it's just really unhealthy how we're living nowadays.